What's up, YouTube? This is going to be a review slash unboxing of two things. Butters, they don't want you in the review. Get out of here. So this is going to be two turbochargers that I got from eBay. And I know the model of them is going to be IHI. And they're RHB 5s. And I believe they came from a Subaru. An older model Subaru, an 80s model Subaru. So they're RHB 5. Basically, they are a turbocharger that you can use for around 125 to 150 horsepower car. And they are going to be pretty oily, for one, because they are used, like I said. And I believe they might have actually come from, there was a model of a twin turbo Subaru, I think the twin turbo Legacy, I want to say, mid 80s car. So these could actually be the right and the left side turbocharger. I have to look back on the numbers. Basically the auction, the guy started the auction at like $15 and nobody bid on them. And as you can see, shipping cost was $14.95. If you ever want to ship something, ship something big, use the large flat rate box. This flat rate box is only $14.95 anywhere in the US. And as you can see, he packed two turbochargers in here. I won these for like 16 bucks. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first off, I should grab some gloves. I'm going to probably port and polish these turbos as like a how-to. Possibly rebuild them. I can always use them as, spares for like, project or something like that. I'm always kind of working on something. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at what models these are first. And this might actually have to end up being like a second part to the video while I look up the part numbers. Because even in the eBay auction, he wasn't clear on which turbochargers they actually were. So this is a VF2, and as you can see here, it's an RHB 5. Actually spins pretty freely, but there is some play, and you can see this this is how you test a turbocharger. If you're in the junkyard, to test and see if it's actually usable. If you can see right here, when I push this shaft play is not acceptable. Anytime that you push the turbine wheel in here, if it touches the compressor housing, don't even get it. Don't waste your time. Pretty much the exhaust side is going to be shot in this turbocharger. Like if you were to take this turbocharger and bolt it up to your car, you would not be able to use it. Right here you can see it touches the compressor housing here, and what you want to do is you want to wiggle this back and forth while you try to spin it. If you spin it and it touches the compressor housing at all, it's shot. It's not even worth getting. And then you also want to pull in and out. You want to feel radial and axial. You want to feel end play. So this turbocharger, as it stands now, won't be usable. And you can see here on the exhaust. This is the turbine here. This is one piece. The turbine wheel is attached to the turbine shaft, runs all the way through the center housing rotating assembly, which is right in the middle, abbreviated as CHRA. These are the water lines, in and out. It doesn't matter, either one. It just basically comes through in like a C shape, and that's where coolant runs through. Here is your oil inlet. Here is your oil outlet. So what I'm going to have to do with this turbocharger is take it apart. And the thing with the RHB 5s is the center housing is universal between all of the RHB 5s. So sometimes if you can't use any other part in the turbocharger, sometimes you can still use the center housing if you want to, like, say, maybe rebuild another turbocharger. Or if you want to take the exhaust housing, there's actually a market for ported and polished exhaust housings that, you know, people maybe have the same model and they want one that's already been ported and polished. Basically all they do is they take off the bolts and then they just slap theirs on. Also wastegates, always big sellers. People are always looking for wastegates. Wastegate flappers. You can't always find a wastegate flapper for some of these turbochargers, and you can sometimes, if nothing else is salvageable on it, sometimes like maybe if the exhaust housing has a crack, you can take the wastegate flapper and use it for something else. So this one pretty much in the condition that it's in right now is unusable. You wouldn't be able to bolt it up, like I said. So we're going to go to the second one, and I'm not expecting much better from this one. This is an RHB 48, and this one actually, okay, now this one, from first signs of it right now, this would be useful. Right now, if I go back and forth, I can still spin. Can't really show you. I can still spin the compressor wheel without it actually touching the compressor housing. So this turbocharger, more than likely, you would be able to take this turbo and bolt it up to your car, and you would be able to use it. So then we're going to look at the exhaust housing, and you can see here, when I wiggle this back and forth, I can still spin it without it touching anything. Generally, these turbos are pretty small. If there's an issue with it, if it's rubbing the housing, you're going to tell right away. If nothing is rubbing the housing on either side, turbine or compressor, and you don't have any, like, in forwards or pulling back, you don't have any play going that way, the bearings in this turbo are probably going to be pretty good. Another thing you want to look at is in the exhaust housing, there's no signs of oil leak in here. So the oil seal on the turbine side is probably good too. Then you want to look on the compressor side. On the compressor side, there's no oil in here. Doesn't seem to be like any rock damage or anything, no debris. So this turbocharger would actually be usable in its current form. So what I'll do with this one is I will clean it up and do some porting and polishing, and then probably put it right back up on eBay. So this will be a usable turbocharger for someone. I actually, I may end up rebuilding it. Usually what I do with these, if I find one that's usable, I'll clean it up, I'll check the condition of it. I have access to a VSR. It's a vibration sort rig. It's basically a way to, Butters, you want to get in the box, buddy? You want to be shipped out of here as part of an eBay auction? It's basically a way to test the frequency of a turbocharger under high speed. Turbos spin and in between like 125,000 to like 145,000 RPM, pretty fast. So basically what it does is it tests the frequency as the turbine wheel spools up, and it tells you if anything's out of balance. Butters, I need you out of this box, buddy. So that is it for now. 2 turbochargers for $16.50. Then I paid $14 shipped. Altogether I paid like 30 bucks for these turbos. So that is it for today. Another video will follow at some point. Bye for now. This is the ZI-8 with the Sony ECM DS70P fake mic. It's the phony, F-O-N-Y, phony. Butters, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Causing a disaster? What are you doing? Why do you love that so much? Is your favorite? Is that a sign that I need to get on this floor thing? I need to get the floor down? That's your favorite piece, huh? Butters.